Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
It's 3 a.m. and the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. A 100 boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Well, most of us, we made it home, but we never came back. When we close our eyes at night, we hear a rocket attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar. In Kandahar.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
That's right. Break them off some. That's right. Yeah. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. And I didn't even have any coffee tonight. I'm your host, Ice. Riding in the gunner's seat with me is Shipwreck.
Yo.
Yo, man.
You had no coffee today.
I had no coffee today at all. Actually, I'm just sipping a drink right now. Enjoying some Knob Creek. You know what I mean? Just enjoying the ambiance after my long break hiatus. Scouting the mountains, camping, doing all my trail riding, doing my stuff, you know. Hanging out and, you know. Yeah, just going on the path, bro. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just one of those things where you just kind of have to hang out and see what's up and, you know, just kind of like, you know, come down from the mountain of Zen. I like mountains, though, and camping stuff anyway, so it's the mountainings of excellences that I was mountaining on. But anyways, welcome to Sergeant's Time. Man, it's like first Sergeant's Time in a while, since June. Everyone's asking, who was that graphic that I put up there real quick, and a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, lost his father, and his name is Johnny Politzer, and I just wanted to throw you know, rest in peace to Johnny Politzer and the Burton Fire District for Johnny Politzer passing away, and you know, and he's like 33 years of service, and you know, he's saved countless of lives. I mean, he was an inspiration to a lot of the EMTs and paramedics that actually he trained. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Johnny Politzer and Chris. Hey, brother. I don't know what other way to do it, but to just tell 1.4 million people that love you, man. Anyways, So that's it right there, brother. You know me, man. I'm not saying I like the dramatic stuff, but you know, I just kind of like have I gotta present the story. I gotta present it out. I've known Chris, Johnny's son, Chris Palter, for years. I don't want to say it because somebody already tried to say that I was going to say the words, the crazy words that everyone accuses me of saying all the time. But I never say it. But I always they say I want to say it. I'm not going to say it. And I see you guys in the chat already trying to egg me on, and I'm not going to say it. I'm just not going to do it. But anyway, so rest in peace.
You're not going to get peer pressured into things?
No, man. No. I don't care what all the drama and the hootenanny is going on. Yeah, I just, like I said, I've just been kind of like, woosah, just kind of like chilling, just kind of like, I sound better than I did on Monday. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Just a woosah type of thing, just chilling. Real quick, I also want to announce that earlier, if you guys were on the nets today, I was playing in the Matrix. I was hanging out with the boss, and the boss was showing me the tech. He was taking me behind the curtains, like, all right, this is what you do. I simulated the Borg, and all this other stuff. And we are now broadcasting because we lost Mixer. Okay, so long, Mixer. We appreciate your service. Thank you for your service, Mixer. We appreciate you entertaining us and being part of the crew. We are now on Twitch. Let me say that again. We are now broadcasting on Twitch. So we are now at TV, at twitch.tv/WTF Nation Radio. So if you go to Twitch and you log into Twitch and you have a Twitch account, you like gaming and all this other stuff, you go on to Twitch right now and you don't want to have to go to YouTube. You don't have to worry about whatever. So we're now broadcasting on YouTube. We're now broadcasting on Facebook. We're now broadcasting on Twitch. We're now simultaneously, and all of excellence. And of course, if you don't like all that social media stuff and like to be on the old school side and just use the TuneIn app, you could use the TuneIn app. Or if you just really want to go old school and just listen to a button on the WTFNationRadio.com website, then you can. Well, thank you. I feel better. I mean, thanks. If I sound better, I guess I sound better. But yeah, it's that kind of like that new tech stuff. I love the tech, man. It's all about the tech. AI. Yes, WTF Nation Radio incorporates AI and all this other stuff to know and to get you all the informations and get it all out there. So, anyway, so how you been, Shipwrecks? What the fuck you been doing since I've been gone? What's been going on? You been doing shit? You working or something? What's going on with you?
I'm always doing something. Sometimes I gotta reach out to Jose, see what's up, keep him in check, make sure he doesn't go off on the deep end, and then try to stay busy, with the family and stuff when I'm not doing that. But I kind of miss Sergeant's Time though, since you're off and Spanky was out of the turret,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Spanky's on a break. Reason why is because while I was gone, her and Mom have been busting ass doing shit behind the scenes, and she's like, I need a break. I was there too, so I can't get mad. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate. Can't throw no drama on that. She's got to take a break. She's got to take a break. Nothing wrong with that. So at any rate, well, that's good, man. That's awesome. See, while I was gone, we've had some developments that have happened in the Vanessa Guillen case. We all know what's been going on with that. I've been aware of what's going on. I've been kind of keeping an eye on what's happening. Secretary of the Army Ryan McCarthy visited Fort Hood. Dude, what is it with Fort Hood? I mean, is it? I'm take another sip of my drink here. What is up with Fort Hood?
Well, they gotta have the highest rate,
They have the highest rate. The great place has had as many deaths now. They're competing with Afghanistan. I don't want to be like freaking overdoing it, but really, when's the last time? Did we lose anybody on Afghanistan? See, the last few weeks, you're saying that Fort Hood. Do you think Fort Hood's lost more people than Afghanistan in the last few weeks? Just being Fort Hood.
I wouldn't want to be stationed at Fort Hood. I'll tell you that right now.
Dude,
shit.
You don't want to be. You want to be. When I was stationed at Fort Hood. Ooh, I almost said the back to something. When I was stationed, I'm gonna sound like Hank Hill. Back when I was at Fort Hood. I didn't say the other word. It wasn't a bad post to be at. It was not a bad post to be at. It was not. I had no issues with Fort Hood. I didn't really have any complaints. I didn't really have any, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it didn't seem that bad. It wasn't a bad place to be. I mean, I got family around there anyways, around in Texas, and had family in Dallas and San Antonio and all that. So it wasn't really it wasn't a big deal to me. It was just kind of like, oh, all right, no big deal.
A normal day for you then.
Right. Well, I don't know. I just didn't see. Maybe it was because maybe social media or stuff like that. It wasn't really prevalent, or I mean, obviously it wasn't. It was back in the '90s, but it wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't hear how Fort Hood. I mean, there's the standard places you would go. Every installation has a
skeleton.
Well,
a black hole.
It's like every exactly. So it's like, for instance, you have Fort Bragg. You have that's the Murchison Road. You have Fort Hood. You got Rancier. Installations like Fort Carson. You have different installations. You have Fort Riley. All those installations have like a bad place to go to. Everybody freaking knew those were the places you didn't go to.
Yep.
And so it wasn't. I don't know. It was a common sense, street smart stuff. Your platoon sergeant would tell you, don't go to Rancier, because if you go to Rancier, you're gonna catch an STD or get a good haircut. That's the only thing that comes out of Rancier. The big Korean barbershop that was outside the Rancier gate by the officers club. That's my experience at Korean barbers, and holy crap. It didn't seem like it was a big deal to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was a Joe or something like that. Maybe it's because I had, the Army was different at the time. The Army wasn't so, I don't know. I expected the Army to be like that. Platoon sergeant tells you not to go somewhere, you didn't go. Platoon sergeant said you're not supposed to do that, you weren't supposed to do that. You wanted to go buy. Right, for real, dude. No,
Why?
You know what I'm saying? But that's the way the Army leadership style was back in the day. The Army leadership style back in the day was, if you wanted to buy a car, you gotta get
permission.
Yeah, you gotta get permission. You gotta say, hey, gotta look at your freaking. You gotta take the contract over. The platoon sergeants looked over your shit, and you're like, you can't get that POS. It's got, we finance E1 and up. Your job is your credit. You got those fast dealerships that are usually run by a retired sergeant major, or a retired major or lieutenant colonel, trying to make a quick buck. Trying to it's just like scheming out the soldiers. So it was kind of like a natural thing. So now it's just like really bad. So anyways, going back to his visit, he visited it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and play just a little bit right here, real quick.
And in doing so, there has been
his visit. He's gonna give him a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time to hear from me today. Fort Hood is of great importance to and for the Army, but it is our people that are paramount. I wanted to come to Fort Hood so that I can listen to the force at every level, understand what soldiers endure, talk to leaders within the communities, and actively understand the culture here, both on and off base.
Damas y caballeros, gracias por tomar el tiempo para escucharme hoy. Fort Hood es de gran importancia para el ejército, pero es nuestra gente la que es primordial. Quise venir a Fort Hood para poder escuchar a la fuerza a todos niveles, comprender lo que los soldados aquí, tanto dentro y fuera como de la base.
This year has been a challenging one for the nation.
There we go. Just that one out. So
because the Army is representative of the country, we have many of the same issues within our formation. With the explosion of social unrest across the nation following the murder of George Floyd, the Army is committed to taking a hard look at ourselves. And in doing so, there has been a reckoning.
Este año ha sido un reto para la nación, y debido a que el ejército es representativo del país, tenemos muchos de los mismos problemas dentro de nuestra formación. Con la explosión de disturbios sociales en todo el país, tras el asesinato de George Floyd, el ejército se ha comprometido a mirarnos a nosotros mismos, y al hacerlo, ha habido un ajuste de cuentas.
We have to address the challenges and barriers that our soldiers endure. The murder of Specialist Vanessa Guillen has become a catalyst highlighting sexual harassment and sexual assault within the military. The loss of Vanessa has been felt in our formations, particularly here and across the nation. I can personally attest to these conversations. Over the past 3 weeks, I have traveled to Poland and Italy, and in both visits, soldiers have asked about this. Vanessa's story has served as a tipping point, where survivors spoke out on social media and shared their own trauma. We must honor her memory by creating enduring change, as one harassment and one assault is one too many.
Tenemos que enfrentar los desafíos y las barreras que nuestros soldados sobrellevan. El asesinato de la especialista Vanessa Guillén se ha convertido en un catálisis que destaca el acoso sexual y el asalto sexual dentro del ejército. La pérdida de Vanessa se ha sentido en nuestras formaciones, especialmente aquí y en todo el país. Puedo atestiguar a estas conversaciones personalmente. Durante las últimas 3 semanas he viajado a Polonia e Italia, y en ambas visitas los soldados preguntaron sobre esto. La historia de Vanessa ha servido como un punto de inflexión, donde los sobrevivientes hablaron en las redes sociales y compartieron su propio trauma. Debemos honrar su legado creando un cambio duradero, ya que el acoso y un asalto es demasiado.
The Army takes charges of sexual harassment and assault very seriously, and there is clearly more that must be done. I have directed an independent review of the command climate, and once complete, will provide an update to the media and to Congress. Ultimately, the results, findings, and recommendations will fuel an implementation team chaired by the Undersecretary of the Army and the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army.
El ejército toma los cargos de acoso sexual y asalto muy en serio, y claramente hay más por hacer. He dirigido una revisión independiente del clima del comando y, una vez completada, proporcionaré una actualización a los medios y al Congreso. En definitiva, los resultados, hallazgos y recomendaciones. He dirigido una revisión independiente del clima del comando y, una vez completada, proporcionaré una actualización a los medios y al Congreso. En definitiva, los resultados, hallazgos y recomendaciones impulsarán un equipo de implementación presidido por el subsecretario del Ejército y el vicejefe del Estado Mayor del Ejército.
In addition, we are rolling out Project Inclusion to address behaviors that tear at the fabric of our force. Issues such as a lack of diversity, discrimination, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and suicides.
Además, estamos implementando el proyecto Inclusión para enfrentar a los comportamientos que desgarran el tejido de nuestra fuerza. Temas como la falta de diversidad, la discriminación, el acoso sexual, el asalto sexual y suicidios.
With that, I'll be happy to take your questions.
All right, first question will go to Rose Dayer of Stars and Stripes.
Hi, sir. Thank you for taking the time to come down to Texas. My question relates to looking into the unit specifically. I know from the outside looking in, there's been some instances where it seems like leadership maybe was negligent or didn't get the job done as far, even as early back as when Vanessa first went missing, all the way to Specialist Robinson being able to escape from barracks confinement. So I'm wondering what does it look like as you look into that unit, and could we see someone maybe get relieved or something like that?
Wow. So we have a series
that?
of investigations, obviously the criminal investigation related to the specific individuals that...
That's crazy. Okay. All right, so you can already see the temperament, the heat of the climate there. What is it? You know, it's something that I've noticed in the inbox lately. Now that I'm back, what is it that's going on right now with leadership, with Army leadership? I don't. You know, they just started doing the BCAT, the Battalion Commanders Assessment Program, and it's going to move to the brigade side of the house too, where they're going to have like a physical fitness event. They're going to have boards. They're going to have all this other stuff, and they're going to put prospective battalion commanders to the test. Is there something that I'm noticing? I mean, we had a talk with the WTF Sergeant Major, and he was me and him were going. I was just like, "Is there something? What's going on with colonels lately? What's up with lieutenant colonels?" It's right now. It's like shifting the hotness, or the shifting of the who are the points of friction right now? Well, at first it was the captains and first sergeants going nuts. Then it was the majors. You know, when they, majors. Not too many of them are in command, but yeah, majors here and there. But lieutenant colonels lately and colonels, brother, they have been. I mean, holy shit! They have not. I don't get it. We don't know what's. We're talking things that are unreasonably. It's almost to the point where, dude, you can't take away that type of mentality. Also, too, that the overemphasis of command. To nobody wants to say that it's wrong, or nobody wants to stand up and say you're being an asshole, sir. I mean, Roger, it's legal. You could do it, but in this environment, especially with all the COVID stuff, it's just kind of crazy. I don't know. It just seemed like during the COVID crap, all leadership seemed to I don't know is there something that I'm not paying attention to? Is there something that I'm aware of that's bearing down on the leadership to act like that when you press them and you press that friction on them? I can't tell what it is. And we see hundreds of emails and hundreds of examples in the inbox. And so we don't really have it's almost like you can't say, well, no, it's only a couple posts. You can't really say that. You can't really, maybe you're retired, Ken. You can't say that shit, blah, blah, blah. We see it every fucking day. We see it.
Mortal.
Well, no.
Locked up, not dealing with nothing, no one to yell at, put in line.
Well,
no peeking.
Well, if you think about it, we kind of like want to know. I'll take an example right here. And we've got so many examples that no one's getting. If the shoe fits and you think that one of your soldiers ratted you out, then probably the fucking shoe fit. It's probably you, bro. Look in the mirror. If the shoe fits, then so be it. Mind you, we get 800 to 1,200 messages per week. So don't think it's just you across the army, across the globe, across messages, stuff like that. That's not even counting the video counts. We also get about 500 videos a week. We get a lot of information flying at us, and we have the staff working it. So don't think that because it's me talking, I know somebody in my circle or a shipwreck knows somebody in his circle that's specific to this case, because it's all across the army. It's all across the army. Straight up from the, you need to come in and we need to make sure you're doing PT by Zoom. You need to, you know what I mean? You got to make sure, to the point to where everyone's going so crazy about wearing a mask, or it gets so crazy about not wearing a mask. And the initial guidance were before, we have had so many fragos coming out about ACFTs and APFTs. We still see the units trying to administer APFTs. We still see units trying to like squeeze by. It's almost like, well, there was a soldier that was flagged, and he was trying to lift a flag, so we might as well go ahead and assume risk. That's the new favorite one of saying that I'm about ready to bust the rules, and I don't give a fuck what you say. We're going to assume risk here, and we're going to go ahead and... I sound like that dude from fucking Men in Black.
It's not black flag, it's red flag too.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That reminded me of like Edgar from Men in Black. That Edgar... Oh, I had soldiers out taking PT today. It means worlds to me. They need to knock them out, but since we're here, we might as well go ahead and do the whole company. Really? You're gonna... Okay, if you ever wonder why soldiers are breaking quarantine right now, it's because of you. You are the reason why. You are providing that example of leadership for those soldiers to keep fucking up. So if you see a soldier right now and he's he's breaking quarantine. I don't know why he's not wearing a mask. I don't know why he didn't do this. I didn't do that. All right, guys, let's do an APFT. Well, duh. You are now setting the example for your formation.
He was just following leadership.
Exactly that. Facebook said that they're censoring me. I thought we had this as a mature audience. How the hell did I? Anyways, alcohol stuff and all this other shit. It's driving everybody up the wall. I'll be honest with you, soldiers can't wait to go back to work because leaders don't know how to leave them alone. Leaders right now, currently in the Army, do not know how to act. It's funny because leaders are more wild than the Joes right now. All the Joes want to do is get fucking guidance on what they're supposed to do, and they're all supposed to be, and what they're supposed to be training on and all this. They're getting harassed. You have leaders that are harassing their soldiers all hours of the night because now they have these leashes, and now we have Zoom, and now we have this. Oh, by the way, we also want you to turn in homework. We also want you to do NCOPD. We want to set up classes. We want to set up stuff. We want to do things that, stepping outside of the COVID bullshit, the COVID chaos. You look at it and you go, how in the hell did you ever come up with this idea to make your soldiers do fucking homework? And then you're making them sign for apps, and you're making them go on your own personal share drives to turn in homework. Let alone half the CSMs don't even know how to fucking write to begin with or grade. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you were I'm sorry, you're credentialed? Can you? Sergeant Major tells you to turn in a paper? All right, Sergeant Major, let me see your credentials. Are you an English teacher? Do you know how to grade? Are you doing APA? Or how are you doing this? What's the style of writing are we doing here? I'll be damned. If CSMs right now are thinking about fucking doing papers and all that, well, it's got to be good because when you go to school, it's got to be, and it will help you for college. Why did it take you now? Why did it take you now to all of a sudden be this great fucking leader? Why did it take a pandemic for you to decide to say, well, it's time to, let me see, pull this out of my ass. I'm going to go ahead and tell all my soldiers, all my first sergeants, and all my freaking senior leaders to go ahead and let's knock out some papers, even though I'm not qualified to grade any of these papers. Hell, I couldn't even articulate myself a damn training schedule, let alone training guidance as a CSM, but I'm going to go ahead and make them do homework.
It's all about flexing authority.
And then when you turn it, and then when you, exactly, when you turn them in, and then when you bring them up, we get the inbox. You know, because everybody knows now we have a SAR major. We have a WTF SAR major, so we have a senior enlisted advisor. He is the SAR major of WTFM. And all these SAR majors, I don't want to say we sit and laugh at the inbox, but yeah, we do. We sit, laugh in the inbox. We look at it. All right, look at this SAR major going off on us about blah 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 blah. And then we read these back, and I'm thinking, we're not being harsh. We're not trolling these guys. We're not purposely, exactly the behooving is right, Josiah. The behooving and the caveating of excellence. It's out of control. It literally is out of control. I tell you what, I fully support a sergeant major asking for a homework assignment if he is qualified to grade the damn paper. If he is accredited by a local institution for him to grade it. If he can proctor that and provide paperwork to a local collegiate level so that way they can get college credits, I'm all for it. As a matter of fact, I only know very few English college professors in my life that I serve with, and would kind of correct me on some of the stuff when I was writing. I didn't care, didn't bother me. It was awesome. That's cool. But a CSM, it's time to do homework. What? I'm sorry, that almost makes it sound like you're making us do homework. Are you really going to do that?
Well, what type of homework is it? Is it homework like writing a research paper?
Yeah, like writing papers or something like that. I mean, how you
ambush on a choke point or something.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's the whole point of what they think. See, look, the Army. Okay, real quick, I'm going to tell you real quick, Sergeant Majors, CSMs, senior enlisted advisors. I'm going to give you a real big clue right now. You are not the Army. You're a senior enlisted advisor. You don't write policy. You advise the commander. And not only that, but you are not the generation to be given a crap about that stuff. See, the soldiers right now want guidance. They want leadership. They don't want fucking homework. They want to know why their asses are being told to come into work when everyone knows that the damn installation is red and they can't come into work, but they're making everybody sit in and do NCOPDs or LPDs or classes and shit less than 6 feet and having the social distancing rules breaking. You know how many times we have... Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I run WTF Nation Studios, and I get the big bosses. The WTF-CG and the WTF SGM holds me back from dropping hammers. I mean, to the point that I have to have my shit... I gotta have my stuff looked at before I release it. I gotta have it released at. Right, Tina? APA essays are part of MLC now, but you know what? Have them teach it. Have them teach it. It's like a jump master term that you know when you go to jump master school. You may be able to do it at your unit, but when jump master school teaches you how to do something, then that's the jump master way to do it. That's the way you're gonna learn it. I mean, everybody makes fun of me for going to the 82nd jump master course, anyways. But my point being is let them teach it. Where was all this fucking guidance before the pandemic came down? Where was all this awesome leadership and nurturing and mentorship? Where did it come from? All of a sudden now, it took a pandemic for you to all of a sudden realize, okay, I'm a leader now. Is that what it took? Maybe we need to have some more pandemics. Shit. Because I guarantee it, once the pandemic ends and everyone starts getting lifted and everyone starts getting back to a freaking semi-quasi-normal and stuff like that, they're not going to give a shit. We're already getting messages already about CSMs wanting to visit houses and shit.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. You guys need to go ahead and check their homes out. For what? You're making them fucking VTC with them on Zoom.
Nah, I'll be over my dead
You know
body
what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you want to look at my house? But here, hang on. Let's Zoom. Hang on. It was like, okay, so you wanted me to wake up in the morning and Zoom for PT. Then you wanted me to wake up in the morning and Zoom for lunch. You wanted me to wake up in the morning and Zoom for some fucking test or some shit like that to do whatever. Okay, now we're Zooming. All right, now we're doing more Zoom and Zoom. Now you want to come over after you done inundated me with a bunch of shit off post. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I do not think so. Everyone's like, well, you gotta make sure everyone's all right. Yeah, I got it. It didn't have to take a pandemic for you to check them out. All of a sudden, now you want to be a super leader now, and now you want to make sure that you're showing the boss. Yep, sir. We're just doing all these checks now, and all reporting this. Well, what are you having them do? I'm having them go to their house. Oh, you're having them go to their house
for their bullets, man. It's all about bullets.
I'm about to say, dude, you want them to go to your house. Well, then, damn. Okay. Then go to their house. Why didn't you go to their house before? Why did you wait?
They want to spread the COVID now. They go to the house and spread
Yeah, right. I was like, wait a minute. Why are you leaving the fucking... Yeah, exactly. Why are you coming to my house? What if I live in a red zone? Wait, exactly. That's a good point. What if you have COVID and you come over and give it to my family because you want to visit? What then? Then what?
Putting dependents at risk.
Yeah, you're putting family at risk and stuff like that, and you better... No. Where's the warranting at? You need some warrants on that shit. Not warrant officers, but you need an actual warrant. You come to my porch and say, hey, Ken, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. Everything all right? Everything's fine. All right, cool. And I'm going to stare at you. Any attempt to walk on up, you best have a warrant. It's an awkward situation to have to sit there and think that you're going to violate somebody by just thinking you can just come on in and all that. It's a touchy situation that I think commanders, when they give the guidance out, and they put it out. Don't get me wrong. The intent may be good. But you're always going to have Big Sarge out there. You're always going to have, hey, Troop, I think you need to let me in. It's because, I'm telling you what, there's something in the inbox right now. We squashed immediately. We destroyed it. As soon as it came down, we had the judge wake up from freaking judgedom. And he had came down like freaking Zeus with his scales of justice.
You don't wake up a judge.
You don't wake up judge. The hotness is that there are leaders out there that are saying to their soldiers that if you have BAH, that gives them a right to come on in because the Army's paying you to live off post. And myth.
Busted.
Ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I'll tell you that. The reason why, see, I can kind of like subtext it right now on the mic because that way everybody knows, oh, they're on to me. And also commanders can know, my soldiers are fucking up. My commanders are messing up. My leaders are messing up. What do? I guess I better tell him not to go in the house. Of course. Don't get me wrong. If you haven't heard from a soldier in a long time, or you know that soldiers are going through behavioral health issues, I totally see that. I totally see you walking out and hanging out and shooting the shit. You know, sometimes it's a surprise. I had my leader come on one time and, hey, you doing all right? Whoa, shit, dude. Damn, I didn't, damn, I had a long time no see. And that's a like welcome situation, all this stuff. But when you see it printed out and it's like guidance, you better go ahead and you better have excellence. Yeah, you better have excellence. You better be rocking out the counseling statements for me telling you to get the fuck off my property.
Well, does that apply to base housing though?
Well, no, it does not.
Okay. Let's make sure we clarify that.
No, those base housing, barracks, and stuff like that. That's totally different. However, base housing leaders are required to notify that they're coming over. Now, barracks, I'm sorry, barracks. That's the barracks. But outpost,
man, open game.
Yeah. barracks them to come out there and you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, if you gotta know how to do it right. If you're, like, I'm telling you, man, I'm some of the inbox stuff were, again, some of the videos and shit of training happening. I'm like, let me drop this dime. And boss is like, no, you gotta, we'll handle it, and then we'll go through the proper channels and we'll give it to the command. I'm like, all right, roger that, and I go kick rocks, and I get butt hurt. It's just insane. We have lost our leadership common sense. I don't.
What happens when you're all alone inside a building, nothing to do? And
well, you're getting cooped up, yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you're getting, you're cooped up. All them leaders are cooped. Yeah, we're on Twitch.
They're cooped.
Yeah, no, I'm saying everyone's. Yeah, they're just cooped. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, think about it. I'll be honest with you. It's being out and about and stuff like that was kind of good for me, traveling and. Me and Baby Ice hitting the road and all this other stuff. It was great. It was to get out and and breathe. I see some of them soldiers out there in some of the installations that I visited. I'm like, holy crap. Yes, oh man. I mean, nobody recognized who I was. I had a mask on. Everyone's wearing masks and shit now, so everyone looks like they're part of Cobra. But yeah, I was like, God damn, dude. So the emails and the screenshots and all the stuff that we've been getting in the inbox over the week has been leaders kind of like overdoing it. I get, I guess you would say the due diligence. I hate that term. That's what due diligence. Let's just talk due diligence of this. We have to make sure that all the, whatever buzzwords we have going on for that. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see the soldiers go through that stuff, and then when you try to tell a command team, the main pages. I mean, I don't talk to the command teams. The command team of the main page does, and they talk to them. I just sit there and I'm like, you cannot possibly think that what you're doing is like legit. Because I mean, look at this under pre-COVID and conditions. Anyways, would you do this pre-COVID? And we're not talking about freaking. We're not talking about something like this, like outlandish shit. But anyways.
If they didn't do it pre-COVID, they would never done it.
Well,
it
goes back to the story that I had when I gave everybody my COVID experience, and no, actually no, I don't think that I don't think that and I'll say it right now. It's kind of messed up to say, but it's kind of true. I think we were ill prepared for this shit. We were ill prepared for this crap. I think our leadership was ill prepared for this as well. I mean, our style of leadership, the way we lead, was ill prepared for this. It's so much of getting it happen. We must fill white space. This must happen. This has to go. We had units all the way up to the last minute scheduling to go to NTC and didn't tell their soldiers yet. Even though after the Army, even that's why Morgan was blasting all that stuff out on Twitter and Facebook. Morgan, our J1, was blasting all that information out because commanders didn't believe it. Man, it kind of sucks. I mean, that kind of weird that you as a Facebook page is helping the Army get their guidance, but
I don't. When the lines blur, like Ramos is saying,
yeah,
they gotta have some type of guidance.
Really, no guidance at all. Recruiter time says, "Fuck off, huh? You have somebody visiting your home."
If they came over to my house, I'd probably open up the door in my skinnies and have my wife come up and grab me from behind and say, close the door in their face.
I would let. I don't want to sound mean, but if Baby S was younger, I'd let him shit his pants and have him answer the door with a dirty diaper, the sagging diaper and stuff like that. Just sagging diaper, like just have house all smell. I'd throw some trash on the porch or something like that if I knew they were coming. Hell yeah, dude.
No, you draw a dead body line.
Yeah, draw a chalk line on her or something like that. Get some dead. And
the right for hood.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I had to.
What's to say that, dude? That's mean. That's messed up. So real quick. So we have 10 more minutes, real quick, before we go on break. People asked me what I thought about the Vanessa Guillen case, and I thought, well, what was up with that? There was a lot of finger pointing that was happening on the wrong individuals. However, there wasn't finger pointing, or there wasn't investigating enough on individuals that were actually sexually harassing her. That the command climate was so bad that people were really kind of like going, It's the change, going back to what I was saying, it's the change of style of soldier that we have today. Look at soldiers right now. Soldiers right now are getting jerked around. Leaders don't think so. Leaders don't think so because of their mentality. Well, I sucked. I lived in the suck, so you could suck too. You like to suck? Well, you can keep sucking some more because I've sucked before. It was good for me and it's good for training. It's good for D-Day. Then you suck. You know what I mean? Then you're good to go. Yes, we're on Twitch. Are we really on Twitch? Yeah, we really are on Twitch. There we go. But anyways, I just shake my head. I even reached out to one of my sergeant major buddies. I'm like, hey, is this really happening in your organization? And he'll send me back a text, bro. Are you guys really doing this? And then immediately the first thing is like, why are you asking me, Ken? Are you going to post this on WTF Moments? I'm like, no, I'm not going to ask, bro. Come on, man. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that.
Are you recording the conversation?
Yeah, exactly. They think I'm going to throw this on a podcast or put it on Screenshot Madness. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't. Hey, if you come to me and say, Ken, I need some help. This needs to go on the main page. I'll be like, oh, my ears, my notepad comes out. I start, you hear me typing some keys. You ready to go. You want this to... Oh, you want this to go on the main page? Here, hang on.
The old typewriter.
Yeah, you got the old. Yeah, I got the old. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I can help you out. But when I'm talking, and there's a lot of people like freaking out when I talk to them about it, and I'm like trying to confirm it. I was like, dude, are you for real? What can you do about it? And they immediately say, I can't tell my brigade commander that this is messed up. He won't listen, or she won't listen. I can't. I don't know what to do. Okay, cool. I mean, let me know if you need anything. All right, this is not going to go on the main page, right? No, it's not going to go on the main I want to put a disclaimer out to everybody who knows me. Unless you tell me it's going to go on the main page or it goes into the inbox, it never gets revealed. There you go. That's the secret. There you go. That's how it works. Things that we don't go trolling the net, or we don't go, farming. Well, except for memes. We farm for memes. We harvest memes. But we don't go like hunting out for stories and stuff like that. If it goes in the inbox, it gets posted. Or it gets looked at to be posted. That's the only way that we don't go farm. We don't go hunting for shit. So you don't have to worry about me. Like I said tonight, I literally got that till today. You're not gonna put this on the main page, dude. Come on, man. Really, bruh? I wouldn't do that to you. I'd do that to your enemy, but I wouldn't do it to you. I mean, I'm not that vindictive, but I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly that. We got soldiers that are going to JRTC right now. Because of COVID.
What?
Yeah, we got soldiers going to JRTC. Joint Readiness Training Center. I mean, that's kind of like the mitigation stuff. What do we? How do we fight it back? What do we fight it with? Our honorary admin General Donahoe is killing it down at Benning. When I was down there, it was masked the fuck up. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, that's what I'm talking about." Hey, there you go. I was able to walk in through the crowd and just hang out. Nobody knew. I was like, cool. And like I said, it felt like I was a like a bandit, like old West. I was gonna hijack I was gonna get a stagecoach. I had my mask on. It was cool. We were just walking around post. People were like, oh, cool. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Well, actually, it was more like, because you're all muffled, because you couldn't understand what each other was saying. But no, some commanders are doing it. I mean, there's some commanders are trying to make it happen. You can be like 8th Army. Busting that information out. That's awesome to see 8th Army busting people out. It was awesome when they were doing that shit on social media, when they were putting people on blast for violating COVID stuff or banning people because of it.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Oh, that's what needs to happen. I mean, it's just like 8th Army was actually getting more traction than us because they were doing it. 8th Army was like putting them on blast. Oh, I'm sorry. What what happened? You're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna mess around and mess with COVID. Oh, okay, we're gonna go ahead and put you on blast and ban you for 2 years. That was awesome, dude. Rock on, General Abrams. He wasn't playing. General Donahoe, General Bills. Oh man, all those leaders out there, they're rocking it. I just thought it was. I don't know. It just seemed. And then my buddy Mike coming back from Korea, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, it's unreal, bro. It's it's night and day. He actually, I kind of like, and he posted it on Twitter. I kind of like want to go back to Korea. Korea's like really special. As a matter of fact, this 8th Army, U.S. Forces Korea are lifting up some areas that were considered off limits due to COVID being kind of gone. That's what I don't get here. We have access. We know how many COVID cases are. We're not, we kind of broke a deal and said, yeah, okay, we won't post all that shit, but we know it's freaking unreal. Yeah, it's unreal. It's just like, God, dude, this is not difficult. I'm talking about DOD side of the house. I'm not talking about, society in itself. I'm just talking about DOD. And we're sucking at it. You all need to come in this formation. You all come in this meeting. Okay, cool. And you walk in there and it's nut to butt and freaking 80 degrees and freaking, yeah, exactly. 20% humidity and people are just like stifling in a freaking room and they're not wearing any masks and they're wondering, we don't know how come, 15 people got positive, pop positive. Well, this happened in the past. So we can talk about this. There were command teams that were getting pop positive because of that stupid shit.
They went to the field and got pop positive.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people that fucking get pop positive and shit like that. I mean, I can't go specifics, but I will say this: there were command teams that pop positive because of that stupid mentality. I guess they were trying to like command team herd mentality. Is that what it was? I don't want to get banned from YouTube because YouTube now is cracking down on anything that has to do with the Rona. You can't talk about it. You can't make fun of it. They will kill you if you think you're talking about facts. I'm not qualified. Like a sergeant major, I'm not qualified in writing or grading papers, and I'm also not qualified on cellular biology too. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just telling you the statistics that we have reported from the DoD, from what we've seen. It's mostly been the command teams and shit like that. Joe's fucking up, being that when they're supposed to be at, and all that. But it's like, God, it's crazy. Some of them lost their collective, minds on some of the stuff too. But I guess, anyways, just see what happens. They're talking about what out in the U.S. We're talking about having a spike in Rona cases or something like that. I know the DoD won't. Yeah, they don't want to test. Like Koss was saying earlier on Monday, it's crazy how some states will give you fucking instantaneous results almost. In other states, you got to wait 2 fucking weeks. It's almost like they don't want you to know. They want to get. Like I said, me and the boy exposed to somebody positive from Rona, and oh yeah, well nah, it's been a couple weeks. You're good. Yeah, but am I supposed to get like tested for antibodies? Nah. You want to go to the nearest military hospital? Meanwhile, I'm looking at videos and pictures of the nearest military hospital, and there are people just like coughing on each other and shit in the waiting room. This is our COVID holding area. No thanks. I'm not gonna have my kid like The Walking Dead. Come on, Carl. That's good. I'm not gonna do that. No, ain't gonna do it. No, ain't gonna happen. We're gonna take a break right quick, and then we'll be right back. So everyone, refill your glasses. Go take a smoke break, or if you're smoking, go. Whatever. We'll see you in a sec. Stand by.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Left it all behind.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Fort Hood again. So there's some other questions right here. We just had a question of the reporter asking the Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy, about relieving somebody.
The murder or help to cover up the murder. So that's being handled by the Assistant U.S. Attorney here in Texas. We have a 15-6 investigation into the unit, as well as an independent review that will be coming down to Fort Hood at the end of this month. So we'll have to do a lot of coordination and findings related to these reviews. And then once that information comes back, make determinations of appropriate levels of accountability.
Okay, and I just want to confirm in my follow-up, the 15-6, is that looking just at sexual harassment within 3rd CR, or is that also looking into sort of negligence as letting something like this continue or happen?
So she's like I believe the 15-6 is specifically into the issue of for Vanessa for her murder, and then so they'll find out specifics related to her that. The command climate review that I referenced, that I instructed, the independent review, will come down and look also at the command climate installation. So is there a sexual harassment type of toxic environment that exists that can help us better understand more broadly? Is it 3rd ACR? Is it larger? Is it the entire installation?
Okay, thank you.
Anything you want to add, General?
So we're not talking past each other, the 15-6 investigation into sexual harassment is looking at reports of harassment that were discovered as part of the investigation into Specialist Ian's murder.
Okay. I think that clears it up.
Okay. I think that clears it up. All right. Yeah. Next question. Yes.
Hi, Ms. McCarthy. My name is Jasmine Caldwell. I'm from KCEN, which is the NBC affiliate here locally. And the question I wanted to ask is, well, last week, Vanessa Guillen's family met with President Donald Trump, and I was wondering, have you reached out to the family? If you have, what did you talk to them about? If you have not, why haven't you reached out?
So I have also spoken publicly, but we sent condolences to the family. Obviously, General McConville participated in a memorial service here. He actually met with the family for over an hour as well. I've said publicly, be very open to meeting with the family. We have not been contacted directly about whether the family would want to meet with me directly.
Okay, thank you.
Secretary McCarthy, how are you? Brandon Hamilton at KWTX News 10, the CBS affiliate here. My question for you is, being the Secretary of the Army, not only Vanessa's case, but there have been other cases involving Fort Hood soldiers and sadly being found murdered or dead surrounding the base. To the Americans that are watching and your leadership, what do you tell them to know that change is really going to happen?
So I've met over the last 24 hours with soldiers at every echelon, private first classes all the way to the general officers, and told them that we're sending down an independent group of investigators to understand the root causes associated with the rise of felonies, violent acts, to better understand why this is happening at this installation. The numbers are high here. They are the highest in most cases for sexual assault and harassment and murders for our entire formation, the U.S. Army.
Wow.
So we are getting an outside look to help us to get to those root causes and understand that so that we can make those changes. Well, and the point of emphasis being that we're going to put every resource and all of the energy we can in this entire institution behind fixing these problems.
And a follow-up in terms of Vanessa's case, how do you change a culture that as we've learned to know, she was allegedly murdered on base, and what transpired after. How do you change that culture?
I'm markedly disappointed and saddened by that. One of our own killing a teammate. And, it takes a shot at the system, and it rattles the system of the trust that you have to have in this profession because of just how hard it is, what we do around the world. It has hit us hard. And the only thing we can do is come together and have very hard conversations and invest in each other and learn about each other so that we know who our teammates are. I mean, I did 9 sessions in the last 24 hours, just for hours, talking to soldiers. I'm from Chicago. This is where I grew up, my family, and just doing more of that. And I think for us, knowing each other better and improving upon the type of teammates that we are for the climate that we want and who we need to be. These are very difficult things. At times, there are people from, we're the Army, we're a reflection of the country. And at times, some people infiltrate our ranks. We got to find them, we got to root them out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'm Steve Wilson with the Killeen Daily Herald here in town. I just wanted to clarify a little bit about the Vanessa Gillian case, what we've been talking about here. There has been a bill that has been introduced, or is about in the process of being prepared to be introduced. I am Vanessa Gillian bill, and I was just wondering, do you support that bill specifically? Have you been in touch with members of Congress?
So we're in constant communication with the committees of jurisdiction, and as they go through the National Defense Authorization Act, which we do every year, which lays out the authorities for the Department of Defense. So when they bring up amendments like this to add to the bill, we communicate with the committee to best understand the intent of that language and also how to implement. So we are in conversations right now.
Okay, so you do support at least the intent of the bill.
We have to really understand the clarity behind the language so that we know that we can implement it and that it'll work in our formations.
Okay. All right, thanks very much.
Sure.
Debbie Strauss with NBC News. You announced Project Inclusion, which looks at things like lack of diversity and sexual harassment. But before this, there was SHARPS, created multiple years ago. And so why, after all these years, are we still talking about sexual harassment and the concept of a toxic culture?
So the SHARP program, the Project Inclusion, encompasses a lot of other things as well.
But you didn't know you're getting a SHARP brief out of this, huh?
Harassment and sexual assault.
It's serious. It's a serious thing to fucking talk about.
As well as the U.S. Army. And a lot of that is just the consistency of meeting and having the conversations like the ones we've had over the last 24 hours. They're hard, they're uncomfortable, but it's a way for us to continue to learn about each other and realize that an act like that is like committing a fratricide within your own formation, of hurting a teammate.
Right.
And so it's that consistency in sustaining these conversations. At times they ebb and flow, so we have to have the discipline to do that every day.
So where do you go from here after having these conversations?
The conversations don't end. We have to keep doing them with the types of consistency, making that investment of time. The independent review will also help us at root causes specifically to this installation related to that issue. So we have to continue to learn, but we have to continue to make the investment of our time to sit across from teammates and have very hard conversations.
Would you consider rooting out members of this installation?
Could you be more specific?
If you find that there are systemic issues here after these conversations?
If the conclusions are such that point to leaders or individuals in particular,
I just find it crazy how the civilian media is so disconnected from the military when it comes to our SHARP program, and how we are too as leaders.
This is Brandy Cruz, and I'm the news editor for the Fort Hood Sentinel. I'm working in the 3 Corps Public Affairs Office. I was wondering, after reading the affidavit released by Bell County, it didn't really seem like Vanessa's death had anything to do with sexual harassment. I was wondering, has there actually been findings that say that she was that sexual harassment played a part in this case?
The investigations are ongoing to the point that General Eflon stated. What my comments just specifically that it has ignited that issue within our ranks. So to be very clear, that was what my remarks were related to, and that is how many women have come out on social media. I am Vanessa too. That's what I was referencing. We are investigating to ensure that there was no sexual harassment associated with that, and with the investigations ongoing.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Secretary. Newly Mendoza with Fox 44. A lot of people are heartbroken, calling for justice and demanding Fort Hood be shut down. How do you respond to those calls?
So, the anger and frustration is, in a case like Vanessa, it's necessary. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed. We're heartbroken. But there's still amazing contributions by men and women from this installation. These leaders that we've met over the last 24 hours are incredibly disappointed too. Vanessa's our teammate. And we let her down. We let her family down. And it hurts. But the amazing contributions and people that are in this installation have to continue to endure. We rely on these units to protect our way of life. We're going to do everything we can to prevent these types of things from happening again, to learn from this, and to move on. But we will do everything we can to protect her legacy by making enduring changes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Adam Schindler with KXXV 25, or the ABC affiliate here. There is a lot of other soldiers who have been reported missing and found dead.
That's
is there a change that you're thinking about possibly making when it comes to reporting them AWOL instead of actually investigating them missing when they're found dead later?
So this has been a topic of debate at the highest levels of the Army for the last several weeks of just our reporting policies associated with a soldier. Are they AWOL? Are they DUS 1? What are they? And when do you make these determinations? And I think we do have to take a very hard look at that. General McConville, our Chief of Staff, and I talked about this at length of just how we do that and how we continue to look for our soldiers when they end up missing. And so we're going to take a look at that, and we may make a change related to that downstream.
Okay, and just to follow up on with your review, if it comes down to that there is leadership at certain levels and there is leadership change, how would you change leadership at a base of this size?
It all depends on, what the root causes point to, at what echelon. Was it an individual? Was it a systemic problem? What we tried to do, these were some world-class investigators that we've got to help us with this. We told them, we gave them broad intent, but we don't want to try to bracket their investigation. We want them to come back with what they learned, with fresh eyes, in order to help us understand our challenges.
Thank you, sir.
Chris Kilmer from ABC News. I was just wondering if you have any details about how Specialist Robinson was able to leave the post
that's what I want
and obtain a firearm in the hours before his death.
Do you have any specifics on that? Or is this under investigation, but do we have...
It's under investigation.
Okay, so we'll be able to relay those facts once the investigation concludes.
Okay, and then similarly, if there was any information about whether he was under a suicide watch or any other kind of formal observation before he absconded from the post.
You mean medical supervision?
Well, just if I know he was confined to his barracks, from what I understand, but I don't know if there was any additional level of observation to make sure he was being where he was supposed to be.
Issues related to the lead up to his death. We'll be able to report that out once the investigations are complete.
Okay, thank you.
For clarity, he was not under arrest at the point that he fled barracks.
Okay,
thank you.
He was not under arrest. Why not? when you're a suspect or a person of interest, aren't you normally detained?
Chavez from Univision. So the family 1 hour ago, they say what you say, that they didn't receive any call or message from you. Do you have a special message for Guillen's family?
So I send written condolences to the families. We send written condolences. I've sent a letter to the family. We usually send them hard copy. With respect to the family, my deepest and sincerest condolences to the Guillen family. We were incredibly disappointed that we let Vanessa down and we let their family down, and that we vow for the rest of our time in service in our life to prevent these types of acts and to find out how we could prevent them in the future so that it never happens again.
Actually, the family say that tomorrow is going to be here in front of Fort Hood at 4 p.m. every Friday. So are you going to be here or no?
I was flying back this evening to the Pentagon because I have meetings tomorrow with the Secretary of Defense, but I can look at my schedule to see if we could accommodate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Eric Franklin, KWTX. As a veteran myself, I know that speaking with officers sometimes is hard. Did you get the desired result
exactly,
from
man.
Speaking with the PFC?
Hey, I see you on Twitch. You got a Twitch account. Cool.
Or was it
go to Twitch.
Trying to tell you what you wanted to hear?
No, I think the conversations were incredibly candid, as they often are with soldiers, and talking about issues that we have and how do we address them together, how do we perform better. So I always learn whenever I have these opportunities. Excuse me. And so it's a great opportunity anytime I get out of the Pentagon and get down to units and have these types of discussions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Joel Lopez at 25 News, the ABC affiliate here. A lot of soldiers, families fear retaliation, especially during times like these. How is it you've been able to, the people you've communicated with on base, on post, how do you know that they're actually giving you the genuine answer and not just maybe people who are giving you kind of what you want to know? How are you reaching out to the people who do fear retaliation and getting their genuine concerns?
So, I meet with them, and I'll be in there by myself, or I'll have somebody from my staff that's like a requisite grade. So that's how I kind of shape or frame the meetings. We make sure that they understand that none of these things will be attributed to them directly by name. And I just talk to them about who I am, where I grew up, and I try to emphasize to them, I'm a person, I'm a human being just like you. And if you don't tell me about the challenges you face, there's no way to fix them, no way to address them to try to make them better. So to just try to make them feel comfortable in the discussion, it's not formal. We just kind of sit around a table and have a conversation. Usually try to do it over a meal because people relax a little bit and they'll open themselves up.
But if you give them some beer, they'll fucking open up.
Trust each other. We don't want the fear of retaliation. It's horrible. We don't want that. But in order to do that, you just have to be willing to invest the time, hours and hours of your day to do that.
But how are you finding these people? Do you have a list that you kind of go down, or are you on your own walking around and just... So
my staff will tell them kind of the grades that we're looking for, the skill sets, and try to go between various units. So we just try to be as random as we can in the way we find the men and women to have these discussions, because we don't want some prepared kind of event. We just want to have what's on your mind.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for one more question.
One more question, and then they're going to close it up.
Okay. Last question, sir.
Hi, I'm Rocky Bridges with KCN News. We'd like to know if the president has spoken with you after he's spoken with the family.
No, I got feedback from the meeting from Secretary of Defense, my boss, Dr. Mark Esper, and that directly related to the discussion. He had offered his condolences, and he vowed to put every resource at his disposal to help address these types of challenges, whether that's law enforcement or within the Department of Defense. And I believe he offered even to pay for the funeral himself. No, but he had about a 15-minute discussion with the Guillen family.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming to
Okay, that was it. That was that was a press conference. I wanted to make sure that it was put out to you guys and gals so that way you heard it for yourself. The Secretary of Army, dropping that out and answering the questions. Nobody really heard or anything from the leadership aside from the Fort Hood leadership, and it's been crazy the amount of individuals they've been finding dead on the installation. I mean, it just they're like at 9 now. How many soldiers there are recently now? I mean, how many? I don't know. Was it 9 found dead on Fort Hood or something like that? Several of them from drowning or something like that. Don't you live around there, Shipwreck? Aren't you around the Fort Hood area, ish, sort of, kind of?
No, it's way out in the pasture, but I think other people are closer there.
Okay. Somebody had dropped me an article. Thank you so much from the Stars and Stripes. They're listening in. The 11 soldiers since November, I guess. No, that's a wrong article, man. Thank you. That's the wrong time. Okay, well, this was back in a couple years. 11 deaths were at Fort Hood back in November 2017. Fort Hood has been having dead soldiers like that. God, dude, it sucks. So the recent one, and this is the one me and Spanky were talking about.
Hey there.
Oh, shit.
We all know that...
sorry about that. That was an ad. We don't play no ads on here because I don't want freaking all the other places. So the latest case right now, and this is one me and Spanky were talking about earlier today. You guys remember Brandon Rosecrans? That was a soldier that was... It was a... Well, let me just tell you, sorry. So Harker Heights police said Thursday that they arrested and charged a 28-year-old man with the murder of Fort Hood soldier Brandon Rosecrans. Police said Rosecrans and Brandon were in Rosecrans' SUV when Olivares shot him. Olivares moved Rosecrans from the vehicle and left him on the side of the road, but police found his body on May 18th. Olivares was charged with Rosecrans' murder on Wednesday, and police said he was already in the Bell County Jail on unrelated charges. So the vehicle the two men were in was also set on fire. Police said in Harker Heights Fire Department investigation that is continuing right now. According to an affidavit from a previous arrest, police found a picture of a cell phone of a friend of Rosecrans and was sent from Olivares' phone. The picture was hand holding a 9mm Ruger, and it showed part of a wall, floor, and a bed in blue sheets and burgundy blanket, and a comforter and a white pillowcase. The affidavit said detectives recognized the hand and arm in the photo that belonged to Olivares based on the tattoos of his arm, wrists, and hands. They also recognized the room seen in the photo of being in the room of Olivares' home in Killeen. Olivares admitted to the police on June 18th that his arm in the photo that he had made middleman a deal for a sale of a gun for $300. So it was unclear that it was used to connect Olivares to Rosecrans' death. Now remember we talked about this stuff. There was that one case and all the social media stuff was pumping up that this kid was shot. Rosecrans was shot on the side of the road. There was the Joes that were freaking in there talking about I don't know what they were even saying, the PNN. It's the same thing with Vanessa Guillen's case. A lot of the stuff was PNN and was information that was provided from the family that she was described for their parents. The same thing. Everyone said this is PNN. You have to listen to this stuff. This guy, there's no way this guy has something to do with it, blah, blah, blah. So, now we flash forward to today. Dude was arrested, or dude was already charged with his murder. A Grey Wolf leaders, the Rosecrans family and friends of fellow soldiers gathered for a 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division's Unit Memorial Ceremony in honor of PFC Rosecrans at the Operation Iraqi Freedom Chapel on Fort Hood Thursday. Captain Jordan Holman, commander of Brigade Field Maintenance Company, 215 Brigade Support Battalion, 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division, spoke at a unit memorial. Quote, Brandon Rosecrans was a valued member of our team, and he and his service mattered to the armed forces and to the soldiers in his company. The best way we can honor his memory in my mind, is to work together every day to build our legacy, Holman said. We can do that by continuing to ensure that this organization takes care of its soldiers, mentors them, and makes them proud to serve this country, unquote. Oof. Man. Jesus, man. It's almost like if you find something that has to do with Fort Hood and a soldier died, you just kind of like, God, man.
You start to cringe.
Right. You know what? That's a good point. Fort Hood and Bragg have about the same population. Is Bragg having the same leaders? No. Not that I can recall. I mean, no, not really. Hang on. Let's do a real quick. Let's do real quick. I think most of it's probably mostly arrests though. But I've not read anything about Fort Bragg, anything happening on Fort Bragg recently, at all. There is one case about a soldier, Enrique Roman Martinez, who was found dismembered after a weekend camping trip in North Carolina. But that was about the only biggest one that we've had right now. That was June 8. That was the last one. So there was one in March. There was, let's see, there was another one. It's the same kid. Yeah, there's another. There's only been, like I said, that's really been the big case. That's not been that much. It's mostly been Fort Hood. Mostly out of the 3rd Armored Cavalry or 3rd Stryker Cavalry Regiment and 1st Cab. And those are the 2 big moving units there. So, anyways, let's see. Here's what we know. Let me pull up some facts here. So here's what we know about 8 soldiers who have died at Fort Hood this year, or last 8 soldiers this year at Fort Hood. 8, dude. Shit. That's enough. Just 8. Anybody die in Afghanistan recently? That's what's crazy, dude. What was the last death we had in Afghanistan? What was it?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Have to go research that.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is just like hot. This is like, besides Guillen, 7 other soldiers stationed at Fort Hood have been found dead since March. That's insane, dude. That is insane. Fort Hood has roughly 36,000 soldiers. 36,500 troops, and is in an installation of 348 square miles. I know that because Soldier of the Month award stuff they made me go to when I was a kid. You had to know Fort Hood specs. Yeah, some of the it's been crazy. The last what was the recent one is Private Morta. What was it? He found unresponsive near Steelhouse Hollow Lake, about 16 miles from the base. They found his body at the base of a dam. So isn't that the recent one? So of them, it would be so they found Gregory Morales, his roommate. So it was it was Private Morta, Vanessa Guillen, Aaron David Robinson. He's the guy that killed himself in the case, but do we really count that as that? Gregory Scott Morales, Brandon Scott Rosecrans, Freddie Benigo de la Cruz, Christopher Wayne Sawyer, Shelby Tyler Jones. These are all like, this is like recent. It's like, ugh. Yeah, you're right. You ain't lying, cause stuff you remember from second board.
And that's not counting the active shooters that's been at Fort Hood and all that.
Oh, yeah. We're just This is just for March. I mean, this is just something that is foul play stuff. Like the Secretary of the Army said, is attacking your own team. And this is fratricide on a freaking level on its own. Yes, on Twitch. There's a link inside the chats. I'm getting PMs. You guys are really on Twitch? Yes. Right. So what? The soldiers attacks. What was the? That was the Nida Hassan, the Fort Hood massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Killing 13, injured 32. Spanky was there for that. That was Spanky's. Her story when she told us about that Fort Hood massacre. Holy shit, man! That was a sergeant's time I won't forget.
Have you noticed since 2009 until now, just about every single year, there's been a soldier-on-soldier killing or active shooter killing at Fort Hood? Have you noticed that?
Well, I mean, let's see. So let's go back. Let's go. So we have April 2014. Ivan Lopez. Further back is 2010 specialist, one specialist Platero. 2009. 2008, 2003, 1996. These are all different installations, though. These are all installations that are happening all across. So, let's see. Army Specialist Ivan Lopez was at Fort Hood, and he kills himself. Camp Fallujah in Iraq. After a verbal altercation, he shoots 2 fellow soldiers. Sergeant John Russell shoots and kills 5 service members at a mental health clinic at Camp Liberty. May 11, 2009. September 14, 2008. Army Sergeant Joseph Bosevich shoots and kills Staff Sergeant Darius Dawson and Wesley Durbin at a patrol base in Iraq. 2003, of course, that was when Hassan did his shit. I'm sorry, no, that was Hassan Akbar. That was 2003. That was during the invasion of Iraq. He fucking shoots up tents and shit and throws frags inside the tents. Remember that. Marine Sergeant, now back in 1986, Jizzy Gantaya shoots and kills his XO, seriously wounds his commanding officer, Camp Pendleton. And then William Kreutzer, he's the guy that shot up the Tau Stadium at Fort Bragg on Ardennes Road. That was the oldest one, and then before that, then of course that's when we had Hassan. But and that's right, exactly that. There's been a guy right now that's threatening to shoot up the post on Fort Hood. He said he's going to come on and shoot the post because of what's happening, how the treatment went for Vanessa Guillen during all this.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It is. You're right. It's Pop Culture Warrior. It is fucked up, dude. It is pretty fucked up. You know, so I don't understand what's. We go back to the culture thing. A lot of that stuff like that. Are we just letting it? Recruiter Times is in the chat. They know what's up. Are we just letting in the wrong people? Should there be more of a psychological assessment for individuals coming in?
Why don't they just wash more out of basic training?
I was about to say,
isn't that supposed to be what basic training's for? To wash out.
So we have soldiers. Yeah, exactly. We got soldiers shooting up fucking places because they were ASVAB waivers and shit. That's probably why fucking commanders are going nuts too, because they were officer ASVAB waivers or whatever qualification standards they had. You know, for that we needed the fucking commanders and shit like that. That's why they're acting the fool. So that's the officer version. I don't want to pick on officers too much. I got great friends and former soldiers that are officers, and they're pretty cool.
Well, you know how they say shit rolls downhill, right?
Right.
Well, leadership that's bad rolls downhill too.
You're right. No, that's.
You got shitty leadership. You're gonna have shitty soldiers doing shitty shit.
But you know, when you think about it, though, now somebody asked, and I believe in personal responsibility for your actions. I was there for Luby's. Your personal responsibility for your action. You cannot blame somebody for a specific action to do it. But do you think somebody could contribute? Like right now with the way all this COVID shit, that's what we were kind of talking about that too, in the main page stuff. We're talking, all these leaders that are fucking doing this crazy asinine shit to their soldiers right now. How many of those soldiers right now are fucking on their breaking point right now because they don't want to deal with your shit? When you think about it. You're just getting beat down by your freaking all officers after ASVAB waivers. You're getting beat down by a fucking specific type of leadership who's always harassing you, and won't leave you the fuck alone. Big Sarge is on the trip. Trust me, we always post screenshots, and we didn't do no screenshot madness, but we will next show. But you see the screenshots of what leaders are trying to do or they're doing right now. Do you think there's a soldier out there right now that we just let in that we should not have had? Like the Secretary of the Army said, we got to weed them out. We got to find them out, right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this because maybe being on the mountain of Zen and doing all the mountains and hiking and being one with nature and all righty then. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I'm seeing things that maybe you should just leave soldiers the hell alone, and this will not be a contribution when we wonder why they decide to fucking shoot up a place. I'm not excusing
it. They're getting reamed by their command, and then they go home and get reamed by the pressure of their kids and family and wife. That doesn't help them at all.
No, it doesn't.
From both ends. Right.
That's what I'm saying. But my whole point being is that you're going to get that blowback. You think that there's not been a psychological effect? There's been with me. I know everybody. I know some people. I'll tell you right. If you don't think that this pandemic has not tipped you a little bit in the brain bucket, which is why I went on a break to kind of release. That's what happened. This pandemic, this lockdown has affected a lot of individuals. Now, I'm just talking about the military side. I'm not talking about society right now. I'm talking about the military. how we've looked ourselves in the military and how we are dealing with specific stressors that we've never had to deal before. I mean, think about it when you wake up, right? You wake up in the morning, your alarm clock goes off, you get up, shit, shower, shave, put your PTs on, or you just shit and shave, depending on where you're at. You do PT for a little bit, then you come back. You do shave, you shave at work, or you shower at work, or you do it at home if you're lucky, if you get to be able to do that. You shovel child down it, then you got to hurry up and bustle and haul ass to a fucking meeting that you probably didn't have to go to, or that probably could have been sent an email. Then you're working all day. Then it's time for you to go to lunch. You got to close up to go to lunch and all this other stuff, but you can't do it because you're probably in armor, or you're probably doing something like that where you can't do it and you're not going to be able to eat. You're busy doing some stuff like that. Then you're finished with the lunch, and then you come back and you got to do with more meetings. Do whatever. And then you finally get to do training. That's why I love jumping. That's why I love freaking doing the training shit. Because I don't have to worry about answering fucking phones. I don't have to worry about the work shit. The office admin crap. Med pros or something like that. They shut up sidewalk sarns. It's not all about that. My point being is that I think that this contribution of the pandemic contributing to the mental wellness of our troops is being effective. You can only push the soldier so much before he ends up losing his or her losing their shit. Then what?
And then you get stupidity.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Cause. And to be locked down, segregated, and micromanaged must wear on you, and then micromanage on that. You're double micromanaged when you're locked down. We were looking at some of that and how leaders engaged like that. You were literally seeing leadership in a text. Like, I don't mind a text to say, "Hey, everything good, everybody up." That's it. But in context, when giving guidance as a leader and doing it through text, it's kind of messed up. It's kind of like it's kind of risky, because then you end up going back and forth and arguing with an individual about something like that, and then the context is all out, and then it's a cold, callous, and sterile, a surgical comment. There was a screenshot that I was going to post up, but I wanted to get everybody back in the swing of Sergeant's Time and stuff, and talk about Vanessa Guillen and the Fort Hood press conference. But you have leaders out there that are telling family members that they can't, no, you don't have to go for your baby's appointments or your wife's well baby appointments, stuff like that. Dude, you know what? I'm not saying we're not going to fight against ISIS or Al Qaeda anymore, but I don't see anybody like jumping through their ass right now to try to get to deploy right now. We're talking about going to Fort Trump over in fucking Poland. That's the big ooh. You're gonna go to Kuwait. You're gonna go to Poland. Ooh, yeah, okay, yeah. My point being is that leaders, you have to pay attention to how you are delivering some of these messages to your troops. It's all about the messaging, and we discussed that too in the main page, Jock. In the WTF Jock, we were discussing about the delivery, about having leaders coming over and saying, "I'm going to come see you. I'm going to come to your house." Well, what's the method of the messaging like that? I'll be honest with you, leave the fucking soldiers alone. That's just me. Unless when you're on a Zoom and you notice that their house is kind of fucked up, or you notice that they're kind of like wigging out, or they got like a pile of cigarette butts in an ashtray next to the phone while you're doing it, and you see a baby running around like a feral kid, and you hear screaming in the background. Maybe okay, you might want to do a leader check. Hey, everything all right? I'm gonna swing by. Blah, blah, yeah, we're gonna have a barbecue or something like that, or I don't know. I got that, but just show up, and then the way that you frame it. Yeah, I'm just gonna show up at your house. Why? Because I'm gonna show up at your house. Yeah, but why? I'm gonna show up at your house. Well, you got a problem with that? Yeah, I actually there's a constitutional problem with that. You can
putting fuel on the fire. That's all that is.
Exactly. Oh, you could come to the house. Oh, you could. Oh, I'll give you the shit. Tales from the Hood 3's coming out. I can't wait to see that. Tales from the Hood. Oh, the shit. I'll give you the shit. You just go ahead and text me that you're in front of my house, and I'll walk down the driveway and say, "Hi," and then walk back up. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a different address. So I'm not suggesting that you spoof. I'm about to say I'm not suggesting that you spoof your leaders, guys. I don't want everybody. Maybe they just go to there talking shit. But you better be careful. But what was that Tyler said right there? The drills back being pushed to shove people through. Back in the 2008 had drills shooting qualify for people. Yeah, I'll be honest with you now. Right now, with the I think we should just slow down. Slow the hell down. Just slow down. That's no big rush. Don't worry, you'll get your. I think what it is that commanders want their big. They want their big showing. Like they want their big. Because unless you're in SOF or any specialized units, you ain't going nowhere. You're just gonna do fucking rotations to anywhere. So there's those commanders that want to get that, rendezvous with destiny, have a fucking poncho flying behind their back, like a cape and stuff. You know what I mean? They want to have their big win, their big deployment. I was able to deploy my entire unit to JRTC and rah, or NTC. Yeah. Okay.
All about those bullets.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I deployed.
Justify their position.
I deployed my soldiers to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're in their inbox saying that you didn't give a fuck about COVID. I don't want to click on that. Disinformation and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, probably going to get beat up on Twitter. You talking on WTF Radio about stuff like that. Whatever. But, again, it's...
How are they going to change the environment, though?
You can't change the fucking environment. That's the issue. I'm gonna tell you what. Again, I don't want to sound. I love the Army. The U.S. Army's awesome. I love the U.S. Army, but I think the military in the whole, we really fucked it up. We really fucked the pooch on this. We screwed this up so bad it's unreal. The COVID. I'm probably gonna get. Oh, nobody could come on WTF Nation Radio anymore because I was just talking about how fucked up we are. Yeah, we are fucked up. We screwed. We screwed up a big time freaking opportunity to do this right.
It becomes a lessons learned for next time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the.
But no one's learning the lesson.
Right. That's not saying no one's learning the lesson, but every time we bring it up, then freaking. I don't know. It's hard. It's I don't know. I can't pin it down, Shipwreck. It's hard for me to decide. Will we be able to recover for it? Only because we did an epic fail in the COVID response anyways. I'm just telling you right now, we fucked it up. When it came to the PT, when it came to the social distancing, the training installations, the training centers, I'm talking about Fort Jackson. I'm telling you, I'm not because, General Beagle and Command Sergeant Major Gann are my favorite command teams. But yeah, they had a task that had to be accomplished. When they came on to talk about their COVID experience and then talk about how they had to, change training up and all that sort of stuff, they were able to handle that and they were able to knock it out. I don't understand how one installation was able to do it just with only a few pieces of COVID cases. And this is a training environment, and had to cycle Joes all the way through, and even stopped and paused training for a second. Why didn't the Army do the the rest? General Donahoe said the same thing when we were talking about the COVID stuff in Korea, and it's installation specific. But once it got here, once we knew that there were cases in each state where an installation was at, then all bets are off. Then at that point, you should have just okay, whatever.
I think what happened was all the other leaders were trying to find out better ways to do it, try to reinvent the wheel instead of just following the main people that actually invented the wheel.
Well,
so everyone wants to have that, I did this type thing, I did that type thing.
Well, my thing is that I don't blame a commander. I really don't. Mind you, I said commander. Okay, nowhere did I say CSM or anybody else. A commander. I don't blame a commander for exercising due diligence in getting his formation ready, because he has an expectation, or he has been given guidance to make sure that his formation is trained and equipped and ready to go to do to fight our wars and to deploy and all sorts of stuff. Got it. So, however, there has to have been, as these guidances and fragos were coming down, there had to have been somebody there to be able to articulate to said commander, okay, look, we are not supposed to have APFTs. We are suspending the Army body fat program. We are not doing this. We are not doing that. We're going to just fire it and move it to the right. write on the calendar of the date. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Commander still wanted to do that, though. Commander still wanted to exercise whatever. And at that point, instead of that's what the CSM is supposed to do, is kind of like be the senior enlisted advisor to say, hey, yo, sir, I don't know if you want to do that, but I'm just saying, here's what's going to happen. These are the implications, blah, 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 blah. No, they were in cahoots. A senior enlisted advisor is a senior enlisted advisor for representing the enlisted soldiers. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for Dara. You're looking for Dara. I don't think the Dara code works in there, Cause. Cause is inside the Twitch, trying to get some Dara, trying to get back to the good. You know what? I'm gonna see if I think there are some chat games in there. We're gonna throw in there in Twitch, but this is our first night of broadcasting on Twitch. All I see is on the chat because I can look at all the chats now.
Beaver.
Dara. Oh man, I love you, man. But no, it's hard for me to. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to think of the mental. I'm picturing the mental gymnastics or the conversation of those leaders going back and forth, and you know they got those same leaders that on the enlisted side of the house, the senior enlisted advisors for the troops, right? They're thinking about the impact of the soldiers of how this is going to affect. Hey, sir, if this doesn't happen, or if you don't apply this or you don't apply that, there were other commanders, of course, that said, I'm not listening to you, Sergeant Major. Because Sergeant Majors we got screenshots and we got emails and we got pics of CSMs going way overboard on some of this shit. But again, I'm trying to get that Dara. How's it looking there, anyways? I think I only just see you in the chat. In there, Cause in the Twitch chat. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sitting there watching the Twitch monitor, and it looks like we're rocking 5x5 and all the channels here too. Even up on freaking.
Flying solo.
Yeah, he's flying solo. He's running. I see you in there. He's running around the room and shit.
As long as he gets clothes on, we're good.
Yeah, he's straight Cause just running up and down the chat in there in Twitch. Yeah, I see you in there. No, I'm just again, I'm stymied by this. I'm kind of stymied by it. Like you said, I don't know what's going to happen, Shipwreck. What I think is going to happen is that it shouldn't take the Secretary of the Army to fly to an installation to wonder why our SHARP and our fucking investigations are fucked up. It should be the same thing for how we handle COVID. There needs to be an independent study. There needs to be something done by the Center for Army Lessons Learned over in Fort Leavenworth or something to determine why did we screw the pooch on this? Why were we sending soldiers and facilities to set up to cover civil military assistance to the American public, and how come they didn't get used? And why? I mean, I can answer a lot of the questions myself, but these are just questions just to ask or just to to kind of like whiteboard it. Why weren't they asked? You think AOC is going to get me banned from Twitch? I don't know, man. That's a good point.
The name will get you banned.
I know, about to say just the name itself. I'm surprised. Twitch was like, when we were doing the Twitch setup, it was like, is you sure that's your name? That's our name. Let me verify this. Okay, verify it. Okay, let me ask you about this. And no, go ahead. And what about this? Yep, they were like making sure. We even had to put like an adult. We had to put like this is for adults. Like Twitch, we had to ensure that when you went on Twitch, the WTF Nation Radio Twitch channel, it even asks you right before you jump on there, this is for mature audiences. It's not for kids. I'm sorry, YouTube. Did I neglect you? Oh man. But yeah, I don't know how to answer that, Shipwreck. I don't. I don't know, but some friends and family, like I said, it's affected me personally. This whole COVID drama fucking has affected me and affected friends and family and with their businesses and stuff like that, and everyone's life plans and shit like that got all fucking derailed. People just sneak through and stuff like that. It makes me mad is that everyone got to sneak through and do their shit. I didn't get to. You know what? It's like you want to do the right thing. You want to do the right thing, right? When all these people are just like squeezing by and working the system and also their shit. There's people that weren't even supposed to PCS, and they try to sneak through and they got out. And they got to PCS and they got to move to their new duty stations. Oh, but wait, they got COVID because they were trying to just buck the fucking system. They just stayed where they were fucking at.
Well, speaking of COVID and all that, being prepared and shit, what are the installations going to do with the schools that have on-base schools?
Ooh, dude, you know what, man?
I haven't heard anything about
I haven't really
what they're
either.
gonna do for those kids. It'd be nice if someone out there knew would call in and tell us, man.
Yeah. And this is just me. I think everyone needs to take a pause and hold up. Everyone kind of messed up. I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, we have Karens in freaking. I was gonna post a screenshot of the what's been happening on a post about mask wearing and stuff like that. What type of mask you can wear? You can't wear this N95 mask because you're not supposed to have it. If I got it on my fucking face, I'm wearing it. Don't get mad at how I got it.
You're not supposed to wear those? What?
It's on installations. It's encouraged that you not wear that, so that way the supplies could be given to first responders and those who need it. Right? Well, guess what?
Okay.
If I already got it on my fucking face, they can't. They don't use it. They can't use it, right?
No.
So you're gonna make me take off a mask and make me go back to my POV because of that? No.
Like trying to reuse the used condom.
Well, no, just like the policy says specifically, should not wear N95. Of course, super sergeant majors out there with their excellence in behooving will go out there and say, "Oh, you need to make sure you take off." Yeah, it's happening right now. The soldiers are just complying. That's the only mask they could get, or they don't, whatever. N95 masks, because now we have mask Nazis out there that tell you what kind of mask you can wear now or not wear. You shouldn't wear that mask. Why? It's just a towel. Well, it's over my face. It's gotta be. What is there a specific mask size or something like that? Some people was walking around like bakalavas and shit. That's correct. Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, and Fort Worth. Soldiers be wildin' too. I don't know. I get shit. That's a hard answer. That's a hard question for me to answer. It's hard. I don't know what I'm going to say. But anyways.
It's $1 million question.
Yeah, right, dude. It is. So. All right. Well, shit. Damn, I was just blabbing away. I was just talking. I didn't even realize what time it is right now. My fucking.
Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't see what time.
Yeah, I was just sitting there shooting the shit, and I just look up on my freaking on the show clock. I'm like, oh, damn. That's pretty cool. We've been up here rapping and just shooting the breeze. That's good stuff. Okay, so check this out. We have. I'm just gonna say right now, we have the vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party coming on. That's. I mean, this is no joke. It is the running mate for Joe Jorgensen. So.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be 10 August.
What day does that fall on?
10 August. It's on a Monday. It's the Monday edition of Nice and Flash. This is getting kind of heated. I'm telling you right now. And you know why? I've not seen one freaking debate that makes you want to vote for anybody right now. I don't. I want to hear from the horse's mouth, unadulterated. I want to hear some sparring. I want to hear some debating. I don't want to hear this bullshit of. Well, actually, yeah, I don't want to hear the bullshit of not having a debate.
We're going to postpone it.
Yeah, we're going to postpone it. What are you talking about? You're supposed to have debates. They want to have democracy in a constitutional republic form. Oh, they want to have our election process. They want to have all this stuff happen here, but don't want to do it completely. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Damn it! If you're going to have an election, you're going to have absentee ballots or pollings or whatever you want to call it. Then guess what you need to have to support that? You need to have debates. Did you know that Joe Jorgensen is the woman running for office for president? I don't understand why nobody's like surrounded. Why hasn't nobody freaking supported this? Why is the two-party system being like that? Stay tuned.
Why haven't you really heard about it on the media?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Nobody.
I've heard about it, to be honest.
Nobody's. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, of course, there are memes that I'm meme groups that I'm part of that I'm throwing memes at to get her memed into office. She's the no for real. She is the only.
Her campaign.
Well, I'm just saying. It's just their. You know, she's the only one. When you think about it, well, she's the only one that's. I mean, you think about this right now. Okay, look. Okay, I know this is SGT's time, but we are doing a cut sheet. We are doing a freaking house cleaning. So let's talk about this little small snippet of politics right here. All right, just a small snippet. You would think that the party of the Democrats would be so supportive of a woman running for office that they would prop her up and say, hey, you know, best of luck to you. Hope to see you at the debates. The Republican Party, who says they're equal in a lot of this shit, would be able to say the same thing. Hey, look, there's a woman running. Here, Jo Jorgensen, she's going to run with us. She's going to debate us, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of a reciprocal event when you're talking about my opponent when you're running for office. My opponent running for office, blah, 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 right?
Yep.
That's what you would say. And exactly that, Cos. I'm a fan of some of her policies, but not many of them. I've not seen any of these guys talk about veteran shit at all. No one's talking about vets. No one's talking about what they're going to do with how to handle veteran suicide. It's a hard thing to grasp, too. That's some inner psyche stuff right there. But you're not going to sit there and tell me that, oh, D. Tracy's got all the answers out. I'm going to do this, and this is the way I wrote it. No, okay, what about this? No. Okay, Biden, you're next. What do you got? Huh?
What happened to the bear?
Yeah, but yeah, he's like Tally on South Park. I have no idea what's going on. Tally, what about the code? For what? That's what he reminds me of. Like, bro,
get away with your hands when you do it. And get a good sniff.
Right, exactly. You ain't lying, Mike. Exactly. The Democrats crapped all over their Democratic candidates. It is even hard for me because I'm centrist. I'm center. Everyone knows me, you know, whatever. And I like to argue. I want to hear both sides of the debate. I want to hear the arguments. Your job is to sway me. You want my vote, right? So here's what you want me to do to get my vote. Fight.
You want to see their true colors.
Yeah, exactly, Josiah. Don't forget to bring a towel. Biden 2020. Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe we should do a parody. We haven't done a parody video in a long time. WTF Nation Radio hasn't done a parody video in a long time. Having Tally run for Biden. That should be his spokesman. Oh, man.
Actually might help.
I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. I just he's just afraid of toasters. I just want to see somebody debate. Give me the debate. I want to hear what's going on. I want to hear the arguing back. I want to hear the points, and I also want to hear them talk. I don't want nobody to talk over anybody. The quickest way to get you throat chopped and punched in the face with me is to try to talk over me when you are trying to debate me when it comes to a debate type thing. You know what I mean? If we're having a good discussion and we're not going to talk about something and you just want to rah. Okay, you want to keep talking, and I'm just going to shut the fuck up. Now, I mean, I really want it should be Mr. Garrison. Pugil Sip Debates, exactly. So anyways, August 10th, make sure you tune in. August 10th, the vice presidential candidate, Spike Cohen of the Libertarian Party. He is the presidential running mate for, man, we're talking about, this is the big league libertarians here now with Jo Jorgensen. We're trying to get her to come on too. You guys know how I am with politicians. I'm asking the same straight questions that comes just bam. Hey, that has to do with our policies. That has to do with our foreign policy. That has to do with our how we're dealing with domestic issues. How do we deal with the veteran issues in the military? It's just, dude, man, it's just like freaking. Ugh. Anyways, so this Sunday we have Allison Teague from Roses Unread. I can't wait for her to come back on. It's like her third time coming on the show. She'll be back to come on with Kicking It with Cows and Al, The Ugly Truth. They just released a new video and track. Roses Unread is a rock band from Jackson, Tennessee, and in 2018 they won the Best Metal Band in Tennessee Music Awards and Best Rock Group in the Jackson Music Awards. So that's this Sunday. And then, of course, Spike Cohen. Is this Cohen or Cohen? I don't want to mispronounce his name. He's going to be on Libertarian Party vice presidential candidate. And as I said before, you're going to see different banners and colors and stuff posted on the WTF Nation Radio website, pages, and stuff like that. Talking about being election headquarters. We're going to start ramping up. We're going to have pollsters coming on. It's going to be fun. Talking about who are they going to what is the poll swinging one way on one party or the other. We all know that polls are fucked up anyways, but it'll be fun to go back and forth and hear some of the policies and trends. Can't wait for them to come on. So don't forget, Monday edition on 10 August. 11 August on Tuesday with Pop Culture Warrior. It's Jerry Kissel, a filmmaker, graphic artist, writer, and vlogger, and he's going to be on to shoot the shit about his latest work. He is the official cover artist for Warrior Publishing. He's an Army veteran, an Army combat veteran in the First Gulf War. And yeah, dude, he's going to freaking come on here and rock it. Later on in the freaking week, or later on in the month, you guys have, you guys know anything about AI? You guys know anything about cyber stuff? Cybernetics and cyborgs and robotics and stuff like that. At the end of the month, we're going to have Peter Singer and August Cole coming on. These are the writers of the book Ghost Fleet and Burn In. If you've not read these books, that's what when I did on my break when I was on the mountain reading the books, bro. Anything that has to do with AI and cybernetics and stuff like that, I'm fascinated by that because I want my legs taken off. I don't mind having that happen. I'm just kidding. But point being is that right there, the robotic revolution, artificial intelligence. Right now, what you're doing, how you are listening to WTF Nation Radio right now on all of our platforms, how we're broadcasting this out is using artificial intelligence and algorithms. You don't even know it. It's so simple. Even with your smartphone, the same thing. So when they come on, it's going to be awesome. We're going to get some vids and graphics up and all that. We're excited to have them on. And then September is going to be a busier schedule too. Man, we're going to have so many freaking guests coming on here. We have some of the sneak peeks. Hang on, let me rustle through my files here. We got 25th Infantry Division coming out. Man, we got some team, more command. Probably going to have a visit down at Fort Benning with Major General Donahoe and the Army Marksmanship Unit. Can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. That's all sneak peek stuff. Let's see what else we got going on. I think that's about it. I think they have the algorithms. Yeah, okay, that one. I think it's gonna be fun, bro. I can't wait. Then next time, Shipwreck, don't talk so much, bro.
Hey, I'm letting you do the house clean here.
Yeah, man, it's been a while
Doing
since
all the sneak peek, you know.
Yeah. I was like, I know you're probably looking like you're probably looking through your notes, going, where the hell is this at? You know.
I'm thinking you're just pulling stuff out of your ass right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I'm sitting there sipping on a drink, man, just relaxed. I feel so fucking relaxed right now. It's fucking awesome. I need to go on freaking. I need to climb on top of mountains more often and hang out. There's also a project going on that I kind of want to keep close hold because I don't want to. I don't want it to get pulled off of fucking Facebook just by what's going on in the world right now when it comes to high-profile celebrities doing stuff, and I'm kind of like, what the fuck? So some of the stuff that it's gonna be posting later, we're probably gonna have in the future a WTF Nation Radio movie night. It's going to be probably on a non-broadcast, it's going to be on a normal, not scheduled time. It'll probably be like on a Wednesday, and it's going to be about a film, and then I'm going to have the individual that did that film with that specific type of operation coming on SGT's Time. We're working that out, or I'm working that out right now, and then I'm going to have them get with the front desk. When it happens, it's going to be a real quick event, so that way the powers that be won't ruin the party, if that makes any sense. I've already pre-screened it, and I'm telling you, it just enrages me. It pisses me off. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Hollywood celebrity stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, They're all jacked up.
Yeah, it's just I just want to kind of keep that on the mic right now a little bit, and then just booyah, booyah, booyah. So if all of a sudden WTF Nation Radio gets unpublished, it's going to be probably because of what we post up. I'm not. Hey, only at breakfast time. Flo is when I fucking drink prune juice. Only on breakfast time. But anyways, yeah. So that's it, man. That's I think that's all I got. You got anything else, man? You got anything good?
Covered it all.
All right, I just want to make sure. Once again, I just want to go ahead and say rest in peace to Johnny Pulitzer. Chris, like I said, the least I could do. That's the only thing I could do to I'm telling you, man, he raised your brother. You are, a great man. He's a veteran too. Your dad was a veteran too, and like I said, he was there. I'm telling you what, you are the man. Even though he's no longer alive, because of him, you stand in his image, bro. You were exactly your dad, and it's awesome service that he had to this country and to his community. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take off. If you got anything for me, you got anything for me? You're like freaking pretty quiet, dude. You got anything?
Enjoy your weekend, man.
Yeah,
exactly. Enjoy it. Stay safe.
Exactly.
Stay away from Fort Hood.
Yeah, really. Or at least wear some body armor, or have a buddy. Anyways, y'all have exactly. So you all have a good night, and shouts.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. And now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the Hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The creator critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber, there can only be one, of course, Space Force. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger-qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.